Okay, everybody, the dorm room challenge is now behind us, and we're going to move on to something totally new. So, I mentioned this in school before we, moved to home instruction, that I'm going to try my best to keep things as close to what we would have done in the classroom as possible. I'm trying to avoid papers and, you know, like essays and stuff like that. So, we're going to try something new. This is new for me, and hopefully it's new for you also. We're going to learn a brand new piece of software that's web based, that's designed to be simple. So hopefully we'll be able to, start designing with it pretty quickly. And it's called TinkerCAD. So what you're going to do, hopefully you've already figured this part out, is if you click on any one of any one of these three courses, it doesn't really matter which one you're in. They're all going to take you to the same place. So we have this TinkerCAD homepage. Now what you're going to do is, at at this point in making the video, I haven't decided how I'm going to push out your individual logins, or the way that TinkerCAD works is you get a nickname. So I'm either going to send those through Remind or your email, but by the time you watch this, you'll have it. So it's kind of a moot point. So click here to get started. So this is going to take you to my class link. It says test group here, but yours is going to say something different. I think it's going to say Rotstein Home Instruction. And you can paste or type in the nickname that I gave you. And it's going to take you here to your dashboard. So we're going to start from the very beginning, and I'm going to be doing this along with you guys. So as you're doing tutorials, I'm also going to do tutorials so we can learn the software together. So just so you know, as you work, I'm going to be able to come in and kind of monitor what you're doing and what you've done. So as you start lessons, as you click here in your dashboard, your lessons, the ones you've completed, are going to show up here. Good thing about that is you don't have to send me screenshots for this project, but you do have to continue to shoot me a message through my Remind that you worked that day. So I'll probably ask you, let me know which lesson you got up to, and then when I can go to any student, click on their dashboard, because I have access to your dashboard, and I can see, does everything line up, and I can kind of check in on the work you've done. So it doesn't really matter what I click on here. You're going to go to Learn to start. And when you go to the Learn page, you have 3 categories. We're definitely going to cover the first 2 categories. And once we've learned enough to get into some specific projects, I might borrow from some of the projects that they have here on the website, or I might make my own. It's going to depend. Like I said, this is brand new to us. And we also don't know when we're going back to the school, right, to the building. So this is potential for the future. These 2 are much more likely for us to do. Or I'd say more certain. So what you're going to be doing today into tomorrow is you're going to go through all of these starters. And you can click here to see all of the starters. These are like the super basic, just understanding the interface, what the software looks like, how we navigate, how we do, just basic commands to become familiar with TinkerCAD. And TinkerCAD, by the way, it's made by Autodesk, which is the same company that makes AutoCAD, which, for those of you in design and tech, we had very little experience with, but we had just started before we left for home instruction. So if I'm pacing myself, because this is going to be due on Wednesday, you're not going to have any work assigned for the holiday, right? So for Thursday, Friday, or Monday, I'm not going to give you any work. But for the next 2 days, you're expected to finish these up. So for me, maybe I would do the first 3 today, and then finish out the rest of them the next day on Wednesday. So if you just click here on Place It, some of these are just really basic, but I want you to know how these lessons, how they look, how they work, and how to follow them. So when you click on those, right, those direct starters, you're going to have instructions on the left. So right here it says, welcome to TinkerCAD. We're excited to have you with us. Telling us that TinkerCAD's used to build all types of creations by adding and removing shapes, etc., etc. Right? So you're going to read the left-hand pane here with visuals. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. So for this first one, like I said, the first one's super basic. It says, do you see the orange shape on the work plane? This is the orange shape, or orange outlined shape, that they're referring to. It's a hint. So these things, you'll see these throughout these lessons, these kind of orange framed shapes. They're not always boxes, but these shapes. And they give you a destination. So in this case, it says find the box shape in the right-hand panel right over here. So they want you to just click on it and drag it over and match these up, just to show you how to kind of move things in this, how to grab things out of this, this menu on the right and bring them into your workspace or your drawing space. And that's all I had to do. So now I'm going to hit next for the next step. That was it. Done. So some of these are incredibly easy, and they're going to get more complex as we go. So if I wanted to keep going for today, which I would expect everybody to do, you just hit continue, and it's going to bring us to our next kind of direct starter, right, or our next basic lesson. And this has to just do with navigation. So like in SketchUp or in SolidWorks, the different ways that we orbit or pan and zoom, this is going to show us how to do those different things, right? So you're just going to follow each one of these, and that's how you're going to get started. So I can click on TinkerCAD, the icon here, and it's going to bring me back to my dashboard. And it should show up in my lessons, that I've completed, place it, and I'm in the middle of view it. So this is what you're going to see, and it's also what I'm going to see when I go to check your work. So if this was me as a student, I would say, I would shoot the teacher, right? I'd shoot me a text and say, hey, Mr. Rothstein, I finished my first lesson, and I'm in the middle of the second one. That's all you need to tell me. And then on Wednesday, I expect them all to be done, and for you to let me know that. Now, again, I just want you to know this because I don't plan on making a lot of videos for this because the infrastructure is already here. When I talk about starters, that's for the next 2 days. That's what your assignment is. They're right here. Then we're going to get into specific lessons. And I don't know if we're just going to go through all of these or if I'm going to, pick the ones that I think were the most helpful. Like I said, this is brand new, but there's a lot of great stuff here. When I talk about the lessons, just know this is the menu that I'm talking about. And there's a bunch of cool stuff that you can make here. Then, again, it covers a lot of different skills in order to get really good at this program. And then if we do get to projects, and it's not one that I come up with on my own, they'll be here. And I guess this is a good time to point out that I just, for both of our sakes, avoid taking shortcuts. I'm trying to keep you accountable as best I can by you letting me know how far you got. I can go take a look and make sure you got that far. But it's really going to come back to bite you if you don't go through these and actually work through them and learn from them when it comes to the project, because you're not going to know how to use this stuff. And that's the whole point. The first part of this, the starters and the lessons, are to help you learn how to use this software. And then we'll get to do a bunch of cool stuff with it. So, I don't know. Moral of the day, don't take shortcuts when it comes to doing this TinkerCAD stuff. I hope you agree that, the way that I paced out your dorm room project, I'm trying not to give you too much, or definitely not trying to give you more than I think you can handle. And I'm trying to, keep it a little slow. So with that said, I expect you to be doing this work and, learning this new piece of software. And I'm kind of excited to learn something new because I haven't learned a new piece of CAD software since SolidWorks. A little bit of Fusion 360, but this is going to be from scratch. So I'm excited about it. All right, that's it.